keep hearing people say that people lost their mind since COVID, but I don't think we're giving enough credit to the vaccines, right? Because think about who was pushing the vaccines. All these crazy leftists, right? The same people that are like, my body, my choice, are the same people that was like, you need to get the vaccine. You need to get it. And I just feel like when it comes to the decline in society or the retardedness of today's America, I feel like we don't give enough credit to the vaccine, right? Like, the lights are on in these people's head, but nobody's home. So, and it almost even with family, I don't know about for y'all, but for me, like, it's like if you have a disagreement on something, and I feel like it started at the vaccine in my family. Even the simple disagreements on anything political, which even your family members or even close friends, that you can't get to a point where you can even have a relationship with them after that. It's like, once you don't, what happened to agree to disagree, right? What happened to, you could have people in your circle that don't necessarily agree with all the same things that you agree with, but y'all could still be friends, right? Or y'all could still be siblings. I don't know. For example, my mama, she a boomer. She, Bible thumping Christian. But when it came to the vaccine and COVID, she was terrified. She was terrified. She got every booster that they told her to get. She tried to get me to get it. She tried to get the kids in the family to get the vaccine. And I'm like, dude, it's too new. Like, don't contaminate these children. Like, you older, right? So I get it. You don't have that much time left. If you want to experiment with yourself, go ahead. But with the kids, like, chill out. You doing too much. We don't know what this does to people long term. Like, it isn't, even though a lot of jobs and stuff required it, I had to work the entire time. I had a normal, COVID, like during COVID when people were locked up or doing Zoom meetings, I was going to work every day. I was going on vacation. Hotels and flights were ridiculously cheaper. Like, I was still enjoying myself, having a great time. And it was like everybody else was scared. Like, I had went to Santa Cruz, the beach, and my friend in Cali was like, oh my God, no, I have not left the house. I cannot go. And I'm like, dude, like, everybody thinks like you. So the beach is empty. Like, everywhere I went on vacation, and I literally went to like 8 cities during COVID, and they were empty. You got to absolutely enjoy it. And I mean everywhere from Houston to New Orleans, okay? So everywhere you went, it was nice. It was you could enjoy the place, Not everything was open, of course, but for the most part, things were still open. Why would you trust this vaccine so much that only came up out of 4 months, And especially with Bill Gates big on this population control, he creates a lot of these vaccines, or pays to create, because we know that he don't actually create the vaccines, because if he did, he would have just had some type of vaccine for his wife to take when he gave her the STD. Anyways, but unlike medications, it's very rare that people who put out these vaccines are held accountable for what the vaccine does to people long term. If we accept the vaccine, we're accepting the terms that they could just inject us with whatever they want as an experiment. And, that's not something they tell you in the fine print. And although very rare in some circumstances, they have been held accountable for certain vaccines, but it was, to me, what was in the vaccine prior to them injecting it with somebody, not the side effects of what happened to somebody after they took the vaccine. Let me show you some examples. So, The first case, because I could only find 5, was Griffin versus United States, in which the government was held liable because of a division of biologic standards of the National Institute of Health released a batch of Sabin polio vaccines that did not conform to its own regulatory standards. The manufacturer settled. So don't blame the government, blame the manufacturer. The second was Grinnell versus Pfizer. Why am I not surprised Pfizer's in here? In 1969, which a manufacturer was held liable for poisonous particles in a salt virus vaccine. 4 cases in 1968, which manufactured a quadrivalent, which means 4 different things in that vaccine, which held liable because in regular people's terms mean the new preservative activated whooping cough. Okay. Anyways, then there's Danker versus Cutter Laboratories, in which live particles were found in the Salk virus vaccine in 1960, which is disgusting. Could you imagine inserting you with live particles? Like, whatever that means. Anyways, in 1920, Sandler versus State, in which pus, was found in the thyroid vaccine. And these are the only cases in U.S. history in which vaccine producers were held accountable. So like I said, it's very rare. And if you notice, none of them were after the fact of what happened to these people once they took the vaccine. These were incidents in which they found prior to the vaccine being released or about to get injected, and the nurse found out. I don't know. And whatever vaccine they gave these people now for COVID has made these people NPC-like. Like, they cannot think for themselves. It's almost like if they think for themselves, they'll get lost, so they have to follow the crowd. What is the crowd thinking now? First it's don't do this to these people, don't do this to these people, and then now we're on the bandwagon where we do this to these people and not this to these people. It's crazy. Just like with the ICE thing, my number one argument with people who are out there protesting ICE is, where were you at when Obama was doing the same thing? Because I remember in Oakland, California, when they were just coming in and getting people. I remember it. And they didn't have no issue. And they didn't have to go that deep. They did go deep enough so that they could surround the building, like people can't, jump out the back window. But they dang sure wasn't worried about no doggone protesters. So all this now is that Trump derangement, which is crazy that these people could really let a man control their thoughts. But I don't think that it's them. I think that it's the crowd, and they can't think for themselves. So they have to go off what everybody else is saying, what the crowd is saying, what the crowd is doing, what's the argument today. They can't even keep up with it. Ask them questions. They never have a good answer as to why they are in and doing what they're doing. And honestly, I really do believe that the vaccine plays a huge part in that. But I don't know. In the end of the day, we are fighting a spiritual warfare, but we've always been fighting that. So what is the reason now that these people have lost their mind so much? And 6 years ago, they were the main people forcing and going out and complaining about people not getting vaccines. Now, all of a sudden, they're NPCs, and the people who didn't get the vaccines are like the only people that, to me, could think for themselves. I don't know. So let me know what you guys think.